Kalala Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakadash Brakata Yahweh Brakata Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders who rule with a great millstone. A blessed salutation to the Akim worldwide, teaching the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom. This is Brother Yahweh, coming to that lesson to edify the Bayada without the 144,000 and 1/3 men, women, and children. The Israelites that scatter among these heathens and look like these heathens, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indian. You are God's chosen people. I just want to touch on Ephesians 2 and 11, right? And to show that, the Gentiles in the flesh, the Gentiles who were acting, let me read it. This is Ephesians chapter 2 verse 11. It says, "Wherefore, remember that he, being in time past Gentile in the flesh," so where they was before they become Gentile in the flesh, right? This was speaking to the Israelites who were acting and walking in the customs of the heathen, right? Let me get a precept to back that up. Right, this is Galatians chapter 5 verse. Yes. Right. Yeah, this is Galatians chapter 5 verse 19. He said, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envy, murder, drunkenness, reveling, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such thing shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So this is what Jake was doing. They were walking in the spirit of the heathen. They were following the heathen custom. And this is what the scriptures say. Ephesians 2 and 11. Wherefore remember that the Israelite, that Apostle Paul went to the Ephesians, they were Israelites, right? That he, being in time past Gentile in the flesh. So what it was before they became Gentile in the flesh, they are Israelites, right? Who are called uncircumcision. Why they were called uncircumcision? We're gonna get that by that which is called circumcision in the flesh made with hands. So the Jews at the time, which is Judah and Benjamin and Levite, right, what were keeping the laws, right, were calling the northern kingdom, which is so-called Latinos and Native American, right, they were calling them uncircumcision, right? Why they were calling them uncircumcision? Let me get a precept there. Let me get Romans 2. Right, and this is Romans chapter 2. Let me just highlight it. Alright, this is Romans chapter 2. And let me start from This is Romans chapter 2 verse 25. For circumcision verily profit, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. You understand? So they were speaking to the Israelites. Right? Let me get another precept. Right? To make it more clear. Because, Jake, they are simple. Right? This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. In those days, when there out of Israel wicked men, who persuade many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are wrong about us. For since we depart from them, we have had much sorrow. So they went and joined themselves unto the heathens and followed their way. Right? This is what the covenant means, to join unto. Right? They went and joined themselves unto the heathen and learned the ways of the heathens. Right? Verse 12. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward hearing that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the custom of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. So they make themselves uncircumcised. And that's why we read back Romans 2:25, for circumcision verily profit, truly profit, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. And who the law was given to? Right? Who the law was given to? Let me get that. Right? Let me get that. Psalms 147. Right? Let me just highlight. Right? Who the law was given to? Psalms 147 verse 19. He showed his words unto Jacob. Was his words? The law, statutes, and commandments. His statute and his judgment unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So they were speaking to the Israelites. Right? They were speaking to the Israelites. So let me go back to Ephesians, right, 2:11. Right, he said, wherefore remember that he being in time past Gentile in the flesh. Right, and let's read the works of the flesh in Galatians 5. Right, break down the works of the flesh: adultery, idolatry, lasciviousness, envy, strife, hatred. Right, I break this the work of the flesh, and that's how they were living among themselves. Right, who he said, who are called uncircumcision, right, lawbreakers, by that which is called circumcision. That other Israelites who were keeping the law were calling the brothers uncircumcision because they were lawbreakers. They were following the heathen gods, walking in the heathen custom, acting like these heathens. Right, and forsook what the covenant that the Most High made with them. Right, you understand? So this is what this was going into. Right, I just want to touch a quick thing on the word Gentile from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Right, and the word Gentile, right, it said plural, nation, people. Right, he said translate Gentile in the KJV of the Old Testament 30 times. People 11 times, heathens 142 times, nation 373 times. Nation being the usual translation in the ASV and RSV. Sometimes Goy referred to Israel, right? Referring to Israel, you understand? Right? So that's why we're saying that's why it say in let me get it say quick, right? So they were speaking to the Israelites, right? That's why the Jews asked Yahushua this question. Let me get this. Is John 7 and 30. John 7 and 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles, and teach the Gentiles? So who's the dispersed among the Gentiles? Who were scattered among the Gentiles? Who? Who? You get a quick reset. Go select here. You gotta stay right here. Right? Let me get a quick reset. Alright, this is Tobit. Alright, chapter 13 verse Tobit chapter 13 verse 3. Alright. It's confess him before the Gentile, he children of Israel, for he had scattered us among them. Right, that's plain to the point. Right, that's clear as day. Right. So this where the Jews were saying, right? Because they know these Jews was the circumcision, and the dispersed among the Gentile were the uncircumcision, who were lawbreakers. They didn't keeping the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, was following the ways of the heathen, right? And when you go to the translation comparison, right? Let me go into it, and let me go to the NLT, right, which is a new translation. I think NLT is the new what's the NLT? Let me pull it up and see what it say. Where's the LLT? Motherfucker, let me pull it up here and see. Right. Select here. Anyway, this is one of the translation. Let me just pull it up quick. See. Spare a minute. Let me see what it means. Yeah, but let me read this by the time, right? He said the NLT, he said the Jewish leader were puzzled by this statement. Where is he planning to go? Right? They ask, is he thinking of leaving the country and going to the Jews in other land? The Jews in other land. Maybe he will even teach the Greeks. And the word Greek in the word Greeks in the Greek is what? Hellen. You understand? The Hellenized are Hellenistic, right? The Hellenists, which were Jews who speak in the Greek tongue, are Jews who adopt the ways and custom of the Greeks, right? You understand? So this was speaking about the Israelites. Alright, they were speaking about the Israelites. Right? So let me come back here. Alright, and go into this. Right? Oh, it said the New Living, the NLT is the New Living translation. Yeah, the New Living Translation. This is the NLT. Alright, so we go into this word here, right? See the word Gentile, Helen. Right? Helen. Right? Right? It's a Greek either by nationality, whether a native of the mainland or of the Greek island or colony. In a wider sense, the name embraced all nations, not the Jews, that made their language, custom, and learning of the Greek their own. See, it's a nation, not the Jews. It's a in a wider sense, name embraced all nations, not the Jews. Not the Jews that made their language, custom, and learning of the Greek their own. And this is how they were. This is how they become Gentile in the flesh. Right? This is how they become uncircum. That's how they become. This is how the circumcisions end up calling them uncircumcision. This is how they become uncircumcised in their heart. Right? They become uncircumcised in their heart. Right? As it's saying, we go back to Romans. Right? They become uncircumcised in their heart. Right? Romans chapter 2 verse 25, he said for circumcision verily profit if thou keep the law, but if thou be a break of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. Therefore if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? He said, and shall not uncircumcision which is by nature, because they are Israelites, if it fulfill the law, judge thee, who by the letter uncircumcision do transgress the law? For he is not, he said, for he is not a Jew which is one outwardly, neither is circumcision which is outward in the flesh, but he is a Jew which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, mean your mind. You know, you keep the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You understand? You hearken unto his voice. Right? Circumcise your mind. Right? In the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men but of Yahweh. Right? And what's the works of the spirit? Let me go back to Galatians. Right? Let me see what's the works of the spirit. Right? We get Galatians chapter 5. Let me see what's the work of the spirit. Galatians chapter 5 verse 22. He said, but the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Against such there is no law. So there's the fruit of the spirit. You understand? Right? They said love fulfill the law. Right? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Right? You understand? So that was speaking to the Israelites. Right? Wasn't speaking to the heathens. Right? The word Gentile mean what? The other nations. But when they mentioned the Gentile in Ephesians 2:11 was speaking to the Israelites. That's plain as day. Right? Speaking to the Israelites. Right? And with that, let's edify. I want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders who rule at great millstone. And blessed salutation to the Akiams worldwide, teaching the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom to the Lord's elect.